Welcome back to Where Clarets Walk. Dave, the big Burnley fan, says people who are saying Parker out still get bathed by their dad. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Are you Parker in or are you Parker out? We're going to get Jordan and Dan's view on that. And if you're Parker in, how many more months or weeks or days do you give him in this job? We are not Scott Parker bashing on this channel, but are we getting close to that point? Also coming up this week, we're talking about the Christmas fixtures. How favourably do they look for Burnley? How many points can we pick up? We're also manifesting the FA Cup third round draw. Do we care less? Of course, that's happening next week. And we're also talking about the letter H as we conclude or carry on with our A to Z. How are you doing, fellas? I know it's feel really bad meeting like this every single week and putting you through it, but are we still doing okay, Jordan?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing okay. I wake up upset. No, it's getting a drag again in it. But as a Burnley fan, you're used to it. We saw it under company. Are we getting a repeat again? Maybe not a repeat of company because at least we're not 3-1 down in 10 minutes. We're 3-1 down in like 90 minutes now. But it's getting hard. It's getting a drag again.
Okay. The big question I'm going to put to you is Parker in or Parker out. Okay, so get ready for that. Dan, Parker in, Parker out.
I'm still very much Parker in. I know there's been a lot of chat all over Twitter and people. I agree with Dave. The guy who says people saying Parker out, they need to go and get, grow up a bit. We are in a difficult position. We are in a tough league and we are making it hard work for ourselves. We're going into a period of fixtures where we're all looking to say we should be getting points here, there, and everywhere. We're still playing these teams away from home. We haven't had a run of easy games at the turf. And until we've gone through that period, I think we should all just kind of calm down, take a beat, and not worry too much about it. It was frustrating on Saturday. We were, competitive for 75 minutes. He takes off half the team, brings on Anthony, and we end up losing 3-1. I'm not saying it's all Anthony's fault. I'm actually putting the blame squarely at the feet of Hannibal this week, and I'll explain why later. But I'm still very much Parker in at the minute. I think we should give him. It's one of those. Do you give him till January? Do you waste the transfer window with him in or not? I don't know. I just think he's done enough to secure at least one full season in the Premier League. And even if we go down, I'd keep him for next year as well. That's me. I know a lot of people will disagree.
Yeah, I think lots of players agree with you. This one, Mickey Shoeshine says the players need to take a good hard look at themselves. Poor decision making, the effort and application from some of those players is absolutely piss poor. So he's not the only ones being shouted out. Right, Jordan, where are you, friend?
Right, so when that second goal went in, that was just raw emotion on my end, and I was Parker out on Twitter, and I felt a little bit stupid afterwards. No, I'm not Parker out. I'm still Parker in. It is getting a slog. Don't get me wrong, but I think was it Mickey? Then the guy's name was. He's completely bang on. The players need to have a long hard look at this. What is Kyle Walker doing for that second goal? Why is he just heading it across goal for him? I agree with Dan on the Hannibal situation. I think he a lot of it could have led with him from weekend just gone, and the players just didn't look interested, or at least I felt that way. The second they scored was the most interested we looked in the full 90 minutes, but that 5 minutes from beyond that, and then when we went 2-1 back down, they didn't look bothered. Every ball that should have been going forward was going backwards. We were messing about with it in our own half. It's disinteresting as a fan when you pay a lot of money, hard-earned money, to go and watch that. It's a little bit, it's cruel, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, completely agree, and lots of others did. This one is harping on those lines. Bixby says, please let's get real. He won't be sacked from that Brentford game. One win and we are out of the bottom three. That's how the board are going to look at it. But that mindset only lasts so long. I say if he loses the next three, mid-December, he will be sacked to give the new manager a transfer window. Dan, is that a fairer point of view, do you think, if he loses the next three games?
Well, no, not really. I mean, you look at the next three games. Oh, we've got Crystal Palace. I know they got beat today off Man United, but they're still fifth or sixth in the league, and they're coming to the turf midweek. I know they've got Europe and all that, but then we go away to Newcastle, and then Jordan will tell me who the third game is after that. It's somebody in and around us.
Fulham at home.
Fulham. I don't actually know.
Yeah, I think to be fair, that Fulham game will be the litmus test because getting beat by a Palace at the turf, isn't, people will be frustrated by that, but that's not one that looks, that bad on paper. If we get hammered, then it's different. But if we just get beat, one of those. Newcastle away, I know their position at the minute looks like they're having a bad season, but they've got Europe to contend with and what have you. And they had a good result yesterday. I can't remember what score was, Mark. I'm sure you remember.
It was 4-1. Yeah.
Was it 4-1? Or was it? But then Fulham. I know they were 2-0 up against Tottenham. I didn't see the end of the game. I didn't actually see the result. Does anyone?
It was 2-1. They won. Yeah.
They won 2-1. So but they are in and around us, and they are very hit and miss. And them at the turf, that's going to be the game that defines us. If we put in a rubbish performance, if we put in a bad performance against them, and if we get beat off them, I would be very much more persuaded by the Parker out brigade. But at the minute, no, I don't think it is. And I think, like I said earlier, I still think we should stick with him because we've got decent players. We play decent football. And on Saturday, things could have been a lot better if Hannibal hadn't thrown himself on the floor like a prat. But anyway.
I agree.
Is that the first time, though, Jordan, you've seen the players suggest that they don't care and don't want to play for him? I mean, before now, the players haven't been criticised in terms of their approach. They might have been criticised in terms of their play, but their approach to games. Was that the first time that you questioned it?
No, I've seen it quite a few times this season where they've looked disinterested, and it's not even the fact of that people are, you look disinterested and we're losing games and blah, 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 we're losing games. Blah, blah. It's not even that. If we lose the game, and all of us as a fan base have watching and gone, do you know what? They really tried. They tried for every ball. They duelled everything. Then it'd be completely different. For example, let's take it back to the Sean Dyche era. We didn't win everything, but every time that team stepped on the pitch, they wanted it and they fought for the shirt. And now it's like we go 1-0 down and it's, oh, here we go again. Let's knock it around the back. Let's have a little mess about with it. Where teams of old, which made us Burnley, Brexit ball, everything, that's gone. It's been lost in translation somewhere. So yeah, no, there's a few times I've seen it, and I don't know if it's because they don't get the town, if they don't understand the roots of it and how big a part football plays. It's more than a 90-minute thing, and the team have all got that, and I don't think this one do.
Robert says, I love Burnley in this team, but today there was no passion, no creativity. It was just shocking to watch, Dan. We are still within points of other teams to climb out, but a few more bad results, and there might not be a way to get out the bottom three, and relegation could be on the cards again. Stupid question, but it was posed in the forum. But would that be such a bad thing if you went down to come back up again and be able to build the funds up, a bit like Norwich used to do and become that yo-yo team and eventually just crack the Premier League, being able to spend more?
I think 2-3 seasons ago, yeah, you could kind of get on board with that. But we've had 6-7 seasons in the Premier League, and then we've had, a season down with Company, we've come back up. A season down with Parker, we've come back up. At some point, you've got to buck that trend. You've got to start saying, this is the time we need to be staying in the Premier League. I kind of get frustrated with people who say, going down, not the end of the world. Yeah, okay, we can go down. We'll dominate the Championship. We did last season, us and Leeds. I know Leeds won it. And we did very, very well. And the season before, when we were in the Championship under Company, we absolutely dominated it. We, broke many, many records. And it's more fun watching that. But at what point do you lack that ambition? People who say we need to go down, build the funds, come back up, well, we've done that enough times now. How many times is enough before you start thinking now's the time to break the Premier League? And I think that we've got to think that now's the time. How much have we spent this season? It's been a few quid. If you include all the people that we've had who've had like loans to buy, it's got to be over 100 million we've spent now. And at that point, you say, well, we'll build 100 million, spend 100 million now to build a team for next year to beat the Championship again, and then we'll have the funds. I'm not buying it. Not this season. I think now it's got to be, this is your chance. You've got January to invest. Let's try and, let's stay up. I'm not saying we're going to have to go beyond that, 17th.
We keep spending all our funds on crap. Broja, 25 million. Yeah, Broja, 25 million.
Well, we agree about Broja, but, anybody else, take him out of it.
Right, okay. Not to sound harsh, Zian Fleming, I love the guy. I like he genuinely is one that tries, but he's not Premier League for me. Anthony, he's woeful.
I'll give you Anthony. Yeah, I disagree about Fleming. I think Fleming's got something about him.
No, something about him, but he's not like Premier League ready, in my opinion.
Possibly not, but Oguchukwu, Chunzebe, Chowner, these players we've never heard of before, they're actually quite decent players. Florentino, again, a great player. So how many more of these do we need? I appreciate your point. Fleming, okay, he's a rough diamond. He probably isn't quite there yet. And I agree with Anthony and Brozier. You know, we've said enough on that. But
I
the
think
rest of them
Chowner's
are
a bit. I don't rate Chowner personally. He scored that one goal, and I didn't even notice him yesterday. Every time I saw him, he was on the floor. What are you doing? Get up! Do you know?
I think they were the better quality players than possibly we had when we went up under company, and we should be making a better fist of it than we currently are doing.
Sending Koleosho out on loan, stupid. Should have kept him. Okay, his final ball, it wasn't amazing or anything to write home about, but he ran at players. This team don't do that. Every time they turn around, they pass the ball back. Coley didn't. Okay, lost it a lot of the time, but how many times did a little bit of brilliance come from him just running at someone?
It did, and we are missing that creativity. You know, having that kind of flair in midfield, having that one person who can create an opportunity. Because you can lambast Fleming, you can lambast Foster, and to a lesser extent Brozier. But if no one's creating the chances for them, they're never going to get them. You know, and how many chances have we created? And if you look, the season we did remarkably well in the Premier League. When we got to Europe, we had Stephen Defoe in that team, and he was a creative midfielder. We haven't had one of them for years. We had Barton in Championship, but
yeah, I know, I agree with that.
Okay.
Sorry, Mark, you want to say something?
No. It's great debate that you're having. Let us know, of course, in the comments whether you agree or not. Whether we need to look at the recruitment and the structure of who's buying these players, and where the scouts are. It's double Premier League week, of course, this week. Then, as you mentioned, Palace then this week, and it can all turn around, can't it? I mean, look, the amount of games that we've got between now and the end of the month. 6 games between now and the 1st of January. 4 of them are at Turf Moor, Jordan. So Palace, Fulham, Everton and Newcastle. This can all turn around. We're sitting here moaning about it now, can't we? So we don't really need to sack a manager with this spell of games, do we? Because it just creates instability in the side.
No, and I do think with 27th against Everton, because we are going to turn up and 4-0 Everton, so there's no worry there.
After what I watched yesterday, I wouldn't. That's entirely possible.
No, joking aside, there are some tough teams on there, and not one of them teams who I look at and go, that's nailed on 3 points. It's going to be a slog. That Fulham, maybe you can make a case for, but the other 4 teams. Sorry, I did Newcastle on there twice. That's a quick turnaround. You can make a bit of a case for Fulham, but everyone else, that's not nailed on 3 points. So if we're turning up, we need to be turning up 100%, and not with these little faults that we seem to have. Because it was a little fault that led to the 2-1. It was a little fault that led to the 3-1. Okay, there's no you could have done about that penalty, and it were a penalty. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend it weren't. You know what I mean? You can make a case he wins the ball, he takes 2 men out, but it's these little things, these little niggles. You do 60 minutes of brilliance, and then it's that little thing. And in the Premier League, they will punish you every time. And 3 times we made a little mistake, and every time we were punished.
You see, one of the biggest mistakes we made, and I know I've said it twice now, but I'm going to have a vent because I feel like this is healing for us rather than anything else. Is Hannibal in early? He had that chance. He takes a man on. He's clean through, or Fleming's there, and he just passes it into the net, or he smashes it in, or Fleming rifles it in, and then he dummies a foul. For what benefit is beyond me, right? Absolutely beyond me. He's clean through. He's beat that man. He's passed him. He keeps on his feet. Fleming actually touches the ball, it hits his shin, and he goes in. So this is the mistake that he made in this. He has to take accountability. I'm not saying the whole results on that decision, but we go 1-0 up, which we would have done had he stayed on his feet. We go 1-0 up. It completely changed the complexion of the game. The Brentford players, they're on the back foot. The crowd gets a bit restless because little old Burnley is taking them 1-0. And if we made it to half time, that game is there for us. And if we don't win it, we get a point. But he does that stupid thing, and I don't understand. I can't gather why he's done that, and I can't get into his mentality. Because the guy wouldn't get sent off, it would have been a yellow because he made a genuine attempt to play the ball. So he's not going to get an advantage, he's just going to get a penalty, which we could miss. I mean, we didn't. Fleming scored one. So, though I agree with you, those mistakes are getting punished, but the decision-making by these players is abysmal, and that was a complete embarrassment. He should be ashamed. I hope he gets banned.
I agree. I agree. No, and I agree with Hannibal because I think, and I'm starting to see this a lot more now. There's a level of shithousery. Now, the king of it was Ashley Barnes, and we know that because
Still
he knew
is.
when. It still is, yeah, and he knew when to turn it right up, but he also knew when to turn it down. And I don't think Hannibal knows how to turn it down. So
He
I
ain't
think
got that barometer, has he?
no. So I think that throwing himself to the ground is part of his shithousery, and that's it. Well, no, you didn't need to do that. Barnes, you wouldn't have done. Like you say, he'd have just rifled it, and he'd have just wound him up afterwards.
Hmm.
You know,
There's just
yeah.
no need for it, and it cost us. And I think if we go 1-0 up away at home, and it's a different game. But
Yeah, good points made. Let us know with your comments if you agree. And thank you for all your comments again so far. We're really enjoying making this content for you. There's lots of great Burnley podcasts out there, but we really enjoy reading all your comments weekly on what Jordan and Dan have to say, right or wrong, of course. As well. It's the FA Cup draw though next weekend. Not that you could care less, I'm guessing, given your plight. But we do like to manifest which team we'd like to draw out of the hat. So, Dan, who would you like to have a third round tie against?
I am less than asked about the FA Cup this season, as you appreciate you might have gathered.
Yes.
I would love either. I'd like one or two things. Either one of the lower end teams who've made it through this weekend at the turf, we play our second string and see how far, give them a run out. Or I want Arsenal away, play our second string, get hammered and get out of it. I'm not bothered either way. It's nice to go through. Let's manifest. I don't know. Grimsby still in it? Let's go for Grimsby.
Okay. Jordan.
Again, I've got two. One of them, obvious. Let's just have them fiddlers down road. Let's just give them another scene too.
Not fancying them at the minute.
Oh, I don't know. That game, they just can't beat us. It's 15 years now.
Play at Ewood because they're amazing away from home at the moment.
We'll play them at
they won
Ewood.
again.
Terrible at Ewood. Yeah.
We'll show them up at Ewood. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
and then, and then the second one is just because I work with a guy who's an Aki fan, and I just think with their financial situation, it might do them wonders. Let's just have a game against Aki. Let's just give them all the proceeds. I don't know.
Aki at home, I think this week. I think they've got Mansfield or someone like that at the Wham Stadium, so they've a fair chance to get through. They won again yesterday, so we'll see.
All right, bro. Right, let's manifest that then. Yeah, Accrington Stanley or Arsenal away or Rovers. Okay,
Bros, you're at trick.
One of them three. Right. Okay, you know it's going to be Preston, don't you? It's just gonna be Preston.
Yeah,
it has to be. It's the way things go. Right. Finally, this week then we're on the A to Z of Burnley. We're up to letter H. I wonder if Hannibal's going to be the choice for this. I doubt it. Jordan, kick this off for us.
Right, come on. The GOAT, H, Tom Heaton. Enough said. It's Tom Heaton. And he's a Burnley boy. He went to Europe Wheels. He's in the conversation of the best keeper to ever grace Turf Moor. It's Tom Heaton.
Bro, done.
I did have others. Tom Heaton was top. I think he's got to be there. Just for the argument's sake, one that you may know as well, Mark, Adrian Heath. It's going back to the mid-90s. He played up front for us in the lower leagues, and I think he came back and managed us briefly for a small period of time. And then the only other one, because it doesn't always have to be football related, was the GOAT of pies, which is Hafner's pies.
Hafner's. I thought you were going to go wrong there. I thought you were going to say Holland. I was going to say they are not the GOATs. It's Hafner's.
They were the fourth on the list, but it is Hafner's that are the GOAT. So, I mean, struggling to pick between an England goalkeeper and a pie. Let the comments decide,
Listen, I love Tom Heaton to death. I really do. But an Hafner's pie, held up meat and tatty pie of a Saturday. I don't know. I could be changed.
Right, congratulations, Tom Heaton, for making it into the A to Z. I can't put a pie in. As nice as it is, I'll have to sample it. I shall go and I haven't. No, I'll sample one on the 27th of December. I will. You have to. Yeah. We might have to take Tom Heaton out after that, but yeah. Now they do need your help next week for the letter I. They're going to hit their first difficult letter, so help them out in the comments, please. For that, we'll read some of these out next week. Right, thank you very much, both of you. We'll see Connor back here next week, of course, as well, back as a trio. We'll look forward to that, and we'll, of course, be reviewing both the Crystal Palace game and the Newcastle game on next week's episode. Thank you very much. Good luck. It's not over yet. Parker in. See you next week.